money can be a blessing once you organize, budget it in a good way.
Investing kasi is not a team sport. Individual siya na ginagawa. Kasi it's a very high conviction activity. Once na ginawa mo siyang team, nadadilute yung conviction. It's credit eh. Someone else will make money out of me. I make money out of you. You don't make money out of me.
Hi everyone, I am Aaron Lead. You are listening to Dragonfly's The Dividend Investor, the podcast of the most profitable hour of the day. This is the podcast where we help you build the dream life that you want, one dividend payout at a time. And so in each episode, we are going to break down stories, strategies, and habits that will help you build a lifetime of passive income. So whether nagsisimula ka pa lang or you are already invested, I'm sure marami kang mapupulot sa podcast na to. For today's episode, we have a very special guest, probably a familiar face already, right? Actually, you might know Kuya John already from his content on both Dragonfly's channel and his channel because we have the same advocacy of helping Filipinos become more financially literate and guide them in the world of the stock market. He's known for being a dividend investor and inspired by Warren Buffett. So what's special about Kuya John then kasi is that he always has fresh takes about different stocks sa stock market and malawak yung coverage niya. He's also an independent analyst of Dragonfly. So Kuya John, welcome to Dragonfly sa Dividend Investor Podcast.
Hello po mga dividend investors!
Ayan. So actually Kuya John, to me pwede ka rin tawagin na Kuya Kim eh. Because similar to Kuya Kim, ang dami mo ring hawak na exotic stocks or exotic pets. Like these are the stocks na under the radar, parang hindi siya covered by most analysts, but they are really good and fundamentally sound companies.
Yes.
So actually, Kuya John, there's someone seated beside you. So etong person na to, I think there's no other person in the world best to introduce her to the audience. So Kuya John, please do the honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, ang nag-iisang mahal ni Kuya John, ang Commander-in-Chief ng Dividend Investing, my Miss Joanna.
Hi everyone, I'm Joanna. I'm his wife, his one and only wife for now. Ayun, hi.
All right, Miss Joanna, welcome to the Dividend Investor Podcast. Okay, so today's podcast is actually exciting because we are going to dabble into your approach in investing, handling finances as a couple together. But before that, now that our audience know you guys better na, actually, I'm pretty sure na next thing I want to know is how you guys knew each other back then. So, paano ba kayo nag-meet, Kuya John and Miss Joanna, and what was your love story?
So, magkakilala na kami more than 10 years. And nagkakilala kami sa church. After nun, naging casual friends lang kami. And then, nagkaroon ng pandemic after nun, lockdown. So, doon na kami nagkaroon ng communication, constant communication.
Okay.
Then the rest is history.
Okay, Miss Joanna, ano ba yung isang galawan ng isang Kuya John investing? So, how did Kuya John court you back in the day?
More on foods yun. Dadaan siya sa bahay, foods, and then hindi pa yun direct sa akin. So, sa pinsan ko pa siya nagbibigay ng mga foods, and then nagtataka ako kung bakit pati ako kasama. Yun pala, meron na palang...
And that's when you got the hint.
Yes.
It's probably not for the cousin, but for you mismo yung pagkain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then para hindi halata, I would give small items lang like isang balot lang ng hopya, isang pirasong siopaw.
Yes.
And then always may okasyon,
yes,
birthday ng aso namin or something else. So or may dinaanan ako okasyon, nadaan lang ako.
Hindi siya kapansin-pansin at first. Yun. Until ako yung nag-confront. Yun, kinonfront ko na siya, tinanong ko na siya kung ano bang ginagawa mo.
And then during yung mga conversation kasi namin, nung wala pa siyang hint, so minsan kumukuha ko ng idea. Sinasabi niya, simple lang naman daw yung requirements niya sa isang lalaki. Una, gusto niya same church.
Yes.
And then gusto niya college graduate. And then gusto niya may trabaho sana. Yeah. So one time, munta ko sa bahay nila, meron akong baptismal certificate from the church, and then
Kompleto requirements.
Then meron akong diploma, and then meron din akong certificate of employment, and then I asked her to be my girlfriend. Kasi na-complete ko naman yung requirements.
Meron pang isang requirement si Miss Joanna. Pagiging pogi daw, Kuya John.
Kasama
din ba yun?
Given na po yun. Given na po yun.
Well, sa akin kasi, any man na nakasmile, pogi na yun. Ganun.
Okay. So, Kuya John, most of our audience knows you as a dividend investing advocate na. But can you please tell us about how you and your wife approach money together? Paano ba yung relationship niyo with money like? Like, is it something na, is money bad for you? Or how do you treat money?
No, not really bad. Kasi money can be a blessing once you organize, budget it in a good way. Tapos, of course, since mag-asawa kami, kailangan ng communication pag nagbabudget. Yung sa stocks naman, sa investing, separate kami.
Okay.
Yun.
If I may add siguro, we treat money as stewardship. No?
Yes.
So talagang pag may pumapasok na pera, we try to be a good steward and budget it and allocate it accordingly.
Yes,
kung saan yung sa tingin namin tama na paglalagyan ng pera.
What I'm hearing is you're both very responsible when it comes to handling money and your resources. Now, actually, medyo curious ako, Ms. Joanna and Kuya John, no? Like, how do you divide financial responsibilities at home? Like, sino ba yung nagbo-budget between the two of you?
Ako yung nagbabudget.
Ikaw yung nag-handle sa budget.
Sa pagdating sa house namin, ako yung sa mga bills, ako yung nagbabudget.
So, paano po yun? Like, ikaw po yung nagbo-budget, naglilista, tapos you pull the money and then you allocate a portion of it for the bills? How does it go?
Meron na kaming allocation. First, ina-allocate na namin yung sa bahay. And then, from there, ina-allocate ko na kung ano yung sa bills. Pag may natira doon for some food, and kung may gusto kami, wants kami for that particular day, yun, pwede kaming kumuha doon.
Siguro if I may add, nagkakasundo kami based from our income.
Yeah.
Magkano yung ipupul namin na pera doon sa budget. And then she decides everything and ako yung taga-pindot and ako yung pumupunta para i-execute. Pero more on yung decision sa kanya. Pero pinag-uusapan naman namin lahat. Everything we talk about. Yeah.
Kung ano yung dapat lumabas, regardless kung necessity or wants, kailangan alam ng isa't isa.
I think anything 500 and above, we talk about it.
Yeah.
Pero I think you also mentioned to me last time that apart from the account na parang pinag-share nyo, like where both of you decide, there's also a dedicated account to each of you, di ba? Like para when you have your own wants, you can like use it for your own wants.
Yes.
Could you please tell our audience more about it?
Let's say may budget for the bills for the house. So separately, meron kaming budget for our wants. Like kung may gusto siyang something, anything more than thousands na gusto niya, dun siya kukuha. And same sa akin. Yun. Anything na gusto ko naman bilhin na more than thousands, na yun, dun ako kukuha sa budget ko, sa sarili kong budget. Yun. Ganon.
And I think this causes less friction, right?
I think hindi naman sinasadya. It's just something na nagja-jive kami or nagra-rhyme yung ugali namin. Pero ako kasi personally, nakikita ko sa ibang couple, lalo na sa mga kamag-anak ko na nahihirapan talaga sila if pinupul lahat ng pera together. And then you want to do something. Minsan nandun yung guilt eh. So here is much easier kasi we agree kung ano yung pinupul namin. And then meron din kaming independent na hawak na pera na ang nangyayari kasi doon, meron kang may independence ka, you do what you want kasi ikaw naman yung naghirap doon sa part nung gusto mong gastos. And then mas madaling mag-execute eh. Like, for example, you want to do this. Lalo na, for example, for your family, you want to do something for your family. For many couples, mahirap ito pag pinupul mo siya muna eh. And then, ang hirap niyang i-execute eh. So here, mas madali siya.
And what I like about your setup then is you're very responsible about it. You're very strict about it. Pero hindi to the point na nakakasakal siya. Right? Kasi you have your separate budget already for your wants. The both of you pa, for that matter. Okay, so sino sa inyo yung mas into investing naman? Is it Kuya John who invests or ikaw ba, Miss Joanna, yung nag-i-invest? Or is it the both of you?
Both.
Both.
Parehas kaming nag-i-invest. Yan. Pero separate yung budget namin.
Yes.
Separate investments.
Yes, separate
Yeah.
investments.
Okay.
She manages her own. I manage my own investments.
Okay. I think later on we can talk about it
Yes.
more. What about when you both met each other for the first time before? Parehas na ba kayo ng principles and pananaw about money? Like, parehas ba kayo na into saving, or yung isa is mas magastos konti tapos yung isa mas matipid naman? Or aligned kayo from the very start?
Parehas kaming maipon. Ayun yung na-observe ko nun. More on like, siya kasi stocks na siya nung nakilala ko siya Nagdi-discuss na siya right nung nandiligaw pa siya sa akin. Yun na yung niya ino-offer niya sa akin yung mga knowledge niya about investing, ganun. For me, ako hindi pa ako. Very beginner pa ako pagdating sa stocks, sa investing, yun. For me, noon, bago kami mag-asawa, nagliligawan, ipon lang ako ng ipon. Yun, for myself. Doon lang ako mag-iipon sa passbook para hindi siya easy access. And then, nung nakilala ko siya, ayan, tinuturuan niya ako sa investing, sa stocks. Yun.
Siguro what we share is something in common. Dagdag ko lang. Nandun na yung ugali na kapag tinabi na namin, hindi na siya lalabas doon. So, pag nag-save na siya ng pera sa bank, hindi na yun naalis sa bank. Never na niyang gagalawin yun. So, same din sa akin, pag pinasok ko na siya sa account, sa savings, or pinasok ko siya sa investments, hindi na yun lalabas doon. Wala nang withdraw yun.
It's a very good habit.
It stays there forever, yes.
Long term, parang you force yourself to have your nest egg talaga for the long run.
Doon kami nagkakapareho. Yeah.
Pero was there ever a time before na hindi naman kayo nagkasundo about a view? Or was there a time before na the both of you fought over money?
Nung mag-asawa na kami, we fought over CC, credit cards, loan, ganun. Yun. Time kasi, gusto ko nang bumili ng isang bagay. So, for me kasi, hindi naman ako ma-loan. First time and last time akong naka-experience ng maglo-loan ako gamit. It's not actually credit card. No.
Home credit?
Home credit. First and last lang yon, and hindi na siya nasundan. Pero, to my defense, I was a good, payer. Early payer ako There came a time na sabi ko, hindi pa complete yung budget ko. May budget naman, pero hindi pa complete. And then, I really want this
item.
Yeah, item na.
Can we name drop the item? Or ano ba tong item na to?
A phone.
A phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Medyo matagal na kasi yung gamit ko So, for me, pag matagal ng gamit, kailangan ko nang bumili ng bago. Since sobrang tagal na siya sa akin. Tinanong ko siya kung pwede akong mag-apply ng credit card. And hindi siya nag-agree. So, dun kami nag-away noon before. Ayaw niya. For me, ako naman, my defense was, okay naman ako magbayad. Early naman
siya
ako
naman
magbayad.
na magbabayad. Kasi
Yeah, nakakatapos naman ako ng bayad. And it's only one time lang.
And pinag-aralan naman niya. Kaya naman.
Yeah.
Kaya naman.
Magse-second pa lang ngayon. Yun. Doon kami nag-away. Hindi siya nag-agree.
I think it's more of misunderstanding.
Yeah. Kasi hindi pa naman kami masyadong magkakilala parang
getting to know each other pa.
Antang dito yung simula pa lang kaming mag-asawa nun So, misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding.
Kuya John, I'm going to give you the chance to defend yourself.
Okay. Kasi it's credit Someone else will make money out of me. So, that's something unacceptable. I make money out of you. You don't make money out of me. So, doon ako nanggagaling. So, I don't want to lose sa interest. Ako yung mag-earn ng interest. I don't want to lose sa interest. So doon ako nanggagaling sa angle na yun. And then, doon kami, And then, when you talk about utang, it's something na nag-hysterical ako pag naririnig ko yung word na utang. Kasi for me, utang is something na sacred na you only go there kung talagang emergency and exhaust mo na lahat ng planning and preparation mo. Then doon mo palang i-consider yung utang for me. But then again, hindi pa kasi kami masyadong magkakilala. Hindi niya nagigets saan ako nanggagaling, hindi ko din naintindihan siya. Just like any couple naman.
Yeah, there were emotions pa, I'm pretty sure, during that time.
Yes, and then nag-usap naman kami, and then yun, nagkaunawaan naman, okay, we understood each other.
Yeah.
So what happened during that time? Did you push through with purchasing the phone? And how did you guys meet in the middle and paano kayo nagbati?
No, hindi ko siya tinuloy yung yung item na yun. Hindi ako nag-apply ng credit card, hindi rin ako nag-loan, which was thank God, hindi ko tinuloy kasi alam ko sa sarili ko na pagsisisihan ko siya. Na-experience ko na siya before na mentally tiring siya na kailangan ko magbayad buwan-buwan. So, iisipin ko pa kung sakto lang ba yung ibabayad ko or may matitira pa sa akin. Nag-meet kami sa middle, tapos nag-produce siya ng one big decision na happy kami both.
Yes.
Yun. Thank God, hindi siya natuloy. And ever since, hindi ko na siya iniisip na pag may gusto ako, mag-apply ako ng loan or credit card. Ipunin ko na lang din kasi ganun din naman yung habit ko noon.
What's your advice for couples out there na kapag nag-away tapos emotionally heightened at the peak of their emotions?
Sa amin naman, pag galit yung isa, for me kasi, pag galit ako, tahimik lang muna ako sa umpisa. Tapos siya naman, pag galit siya, paulit-ulit. Paulit-ulit yung sinasabi.
Para ako si Ramplaka.
Yes, yun. Ako kasi, tahimik lang muna ako. Baka makasakit ako pag nagsalita ako. Pero maya-maya naman, okay naman din kami. We just have to have, time.
Space.
Oo.
Parang cool off muna.
Oo, pero hindi kami nagpapang-umaga ng galit. At some point, merong isang lalapit to say sorry. Tapos, uumpisa na naman yung conversation.
Tumutulong si Kuya John sa sarili niya.
Yeah, siya. Yun. Siya yung unang nagsasorry. Pero the moment kasi na lumapit siya, okay na ako nun eh. Ready to engage ulit dun yung conversation.
Wag mo lang sasabayan pag yung heightened yung emotions. But this is general. But about money, bihira kaming...
Yes.
Bihira kami may discussion about money. This is not really a big fight. More on other things. Then pag ganon, lapit ka lang, antay mo lang na lumamig. And then later on, you just talk with each other. Pag-usapan nyo lang. Everything naman is just communication.
More on misunderstanding lang naman yun. Pero pagdating kasi sa money, hindi pa. Thank God, hindi pa kami nag-aaway naman. Major. Yun.
Marami kaming similarities din kasi. Yeah.
So nagpapalamig ka muna ang ulo, Kuya John?
No, ako.
Both of you?
Yeah,
both. And space as well?
Tapos mamaya massage ko na yung paa niya. Yun.
Tapos sa garage ka na muna matutulog, Kuya John?
Hindi, massage mo lang yung paa. Tapos mamaya, halika na nga. Ano ba yun? Uusap na kami.
Take note, guys. How do you set financial goals as a couple naman? Like, do you have... Like, is there a specific period of the year na you talk about it? Or parang, is it every year? Is it every 5 years? Or nung nagkinasal kayo, doon yung pinag-usapan? Para saan kayo nag-iipon pareho? Like, meron ba kayong shared goal or shared aspiration?
Well, nag-iipon ako para sa sarili ko. I mean, sa retirement and then sa magiging anak.
Same lang naman din. Nag-iipon kami for retirement,
For
para
future.
mag-prepare sa family. We're just doing our best at the moment. Do we set goals together? Yeah, from time to time. Pero take note lang na we are still new couple. So, hindi pa rin ganun karami yung mga napag-uusapan namin. Yeah.
Speaking of financial goals, Kuya John and Miss Joanna, correct me if I'm wrong, pero Kuya John, you taught Miss Joanna how to invest, everything about the stock market, or dun siya nagsimula, di ba? How did that happen?
Sige, nung naliligaw siya, yun, doon ako na inform about stocks, about business, kung paano nag-work yung business. Yun, doon niya ako ini-inform na nagliligawan kami. Pero na-appreciate ko naman siya. Actually, wala akong kaalam-alam kung paano nag-work yun or kung paano ba yung stocks. Investment, hindi ko alam. Pero na-appreciate ko siya, nalaman ko siya. And right now, turned out na nagagamit ko siya. Ayun.
Pero not at the beginning. Kasi nung una, hindi pa niya ako sinasagot and then magde-date kami tapos dadakdakan ko siya ng maraming stocks.
Yeah,
and then pag uwi namin nakasimangot siya, di ko alam kung what's wrong?
Not really.
Anong problema?
No, na-appreciate ko siya. Actually, yung kung paano nabubuhay yung
slowly,
business, kung paano nag-work siya, paano ba siya kumikita, paano pag may utang, ganun. Na-appreciate ko siya. Pero at some point, pag nagde-date, pag iba yung topic, hindi ako na-orient na bumabalik siya sa ganong topic.
romantic setting tapos biglang magtuturo na si Kuya John.
Yes, hindi ako na-orient doon.
You're talking about your future and then biglang mamaya you're talking about a specific company. Tingnan mo yung revenue nito, tumataas na naman, no?
Ganun nga.
It's very natural for you kasi since you're very passionate about it during that time. Sometimes kasi when your partner like teaches you about the stock market, investing, ganyan, they might come off too strong at times eh. So hindi mo naman na-experience, Miss Joanna, na ano ba yan yung partner ko, parang masyado nagmamagaling or parang it comes off as too strong or no naman?
No, hindi naman. Kasi like I said, na-appreciate ko siya. Hindi ko siya alam nun eh. I mean, yung mga tinuturo niya, yung mga sinashare niya, hindi ko siya alam. Parang newfound knowledge siya na, may ganun pala. Okay, pwede pala yun. Ganun pala siya. Okay. Yun. In-accept ko naman yun.
And you also mentioned about how Kuya John teaches you in like a friendly way. Di ba maraming analogies?
Yes, yun.
Maraming analogies na ginagamit. Like, do you have a sample analogy na Kuya John used before?
PE ratio, maybe?
Oo, yes. PE ratio yun. Pag mababa, I guess, yun ba yun?
Yeah. The faster the ROI.
Mas maganda. Yun. Mas maganda yung... May range kang sinabi nun before.
Yung return on investment mo mas mabilis.
Oo, yun. Na-appreciate ko yun. Kasi yun din yung tinitignan ko kapag nag-research ako eh. PE ratio, utang, kita for the last 5 years, ganyan, tinitignan ko. Any projects, ano yan, bakit malaki yung utang, ganon. Yun, tinuro niya sa akin.
Yeah, I taught her yung PE ratio is the number of years before you recover your investments. Yun yung estimate na meaning nun.
Okay. Pero what piqued your interest that time, Miss Joanna? Like, all of a sudden, why did you ask Kuya John to teach you about investing, about the stock market?
Siguro na-hook ako doon sa may part na dati kasi ipon lang ako ng ipon. Passbook lang ako. And then, hindi ako nag-withdraw. Doon ako na-hook sa kapag nag-invest ka sa stocks, may balik and nagko-compound ba siya? Yeah, yung balik sa'yo, nagkakaroon, lumalaki. So, doon ako na-hook. May ganun pala. So, hindi ko lang pala pwede. Yung money ko, hindi lang pala siya pwedeng itago lang ng itago. Yun, siya yung nag-inform sa akin na may ganitong way. Yun yung nag-ano sa akin.
Your money has to be working for you.
Yes.
Hindi pwedeng tulog lang.
Kailangan mag-grow. Kailangan mag-grow.
What was your first impression about the stock market back then? Was it something scary to you or...
Siguro overwhelming siya kasi hindi ko talaga yung mga terms, very deep, hindi ko siya maintindihan at first. Pero siya, kapag nag-explain siya and nag-inform siya, yun, nagbibigay siya ng simple analogy. Like, pag hindi ko maintindihan at first, teka lang, backtrack lang muna tayo. You have to give example so that I can understand. Yun, ganun yung mga conversations namin dati.
Okay. Was there any mistakes along the way? Yung pinaka-memorable mistake?
Yes. Hindi naman siya mistake, pero...
This is where you lost money.
Yes, konti.
Yun. Parang siya, every time na nagbubukas ako ng portfolio ko, which is very rare lang, napapansin ko siya na constant siyang red. Ganon. Parang yung ibang stocks ko, lumalaki na. And then this one, constant lang siyang red, which means may something. So sabi ko, ano kayang meron dito? At some point, nag-decide ako na i-sell na siya. And then came the very big news about yung owner ba yun? Si Villar? Yes, yun. Na-sell ko na siya bago pa nagkaroon ng viral news about him. So, yun, hindi ako nagsisi doon. Talagang binenta ko na siya.
Kasi bumaba pa lalo after you sold.
Yes.
Kuya John and Miss Joanna, moving on, like, I know na you learned from Kuya John, right? And now, when you invest, is it separate or is it together?
So, kami kasi by design, independent kami nagmamanage ng sarili-sarili naming portfolio. And kasi yung natutunan ko talaga from Monish Pabray, from Warren Buffett, investing kasi is not a team sport. And kailangan talaga ng individual siya na ginagawa. Kasi it's a very high conviction activity. And once na ginawa mo siyang team, nadadilute yung conviction, and then nagkakaroon kayo ng interdependence sa isa't isa, mahirap mag-execute eh. And also, hindi mo na ma-maximize yung learning and growth. So, ang ginagawa namin is talagang we manage our own individual portfolio. And for me, ako kasi nauna na ako nag-i-invest eh. Pero siya, very important sa akin na separate kasi gusto ko rin siya mag-grow as an investor. If I'm always there, guiding her or telling her what to do, hindi siya mag-grow as an investor eh. So, gusto ko, kaming dalawa, nag-grow talaga kami. So, we manage our own portfolio independently. And bibilin niya yung gusto niya, bibilin ko yung gusto ko. We don't need the approval of each other. Yan. And actually, minsan magtatanong siya, what do you think about these stocks? Sabi, ayoko yan. And then bibilin pa rin niya. And then it will turn out ako yung mali. It did well.
Thank God.
Then ako yung mali. So, pero okay pa rin kasi, gain. Gain is gain.
And the reason why you can't both do it at the same time together is that maraming noise. And then there might be conflict pa about reason na pag-awayan niya pa, right?
Imagine the dynamic kung hindi ko siya pinayagan bumili nun. If that was a pooled money. And siya yung tama. Diba? But this one siya ang responsible eh. And then iba talaga pag ikaw yung responsible sa portfolio mo eh. You really think about it. Pinag-iisipan mo talaga siya mabuti. Kasi it's your own decision.
And Miss Joanna, that's your hard-earned money, right?
Yes.
So parang syempre you want to take full control of your hard-earned money.
Yes, that's my money eh. So, gusto kong gawin yung gusto kong gawin sa money ko. So, pinagpaguran ko, ganyan. Inalatan ko ng time. Yun, sa akin na yun. And then, independent nga yung pag-i-invest namin. Pero, sinasabi naman namin na, kaka-research ko lang ng ganito. So, is it okay? And then, pag may feedback siya na mukhang so and so lang. So, parang hindi naman ako affected kasi that's my money. So, okay lang sa akin. Pero hindi siya ma-influence. Yung feedback niya, hindi ma-influence yung decision ko.
Yes, that's very important.
To buy what I want. Yun.
Okay. And when Kuya John, you see sometimes na parang you think na mali yan, you just let Miss Joanna as well, right?
Yes. Kasi doon ka rin naman natututo eh. Kung actually may konti siyang mga mistakes na nakita ko, like yung binenta niya. Pero now, naintindihan na niya yung, yung lesson nun.
Yes.
Naintindihan na niya yung lesson nun. Hindi na niya uulitin yung mistake na yun.
Well, what's the mistake about selling something?
Yung isang red na position niya, kasi he bought these stocks na owned ng isang, isang businessman na iniiwasan ng lahat ng investor. So, that is something na hindi pa niya alam ng time na yon na, integrity above all else. So, now, alam na niya. This mistake hindi na niya uulitin.
There came a time kasi na may face ako na, naghanap ako ng mga, like, goods, ang tawag doon, yung company na nagsisell ng goods. Yung mga parang like...
parang groceries.
Ayun, ganun. So, inisa-isa ko yun. Inisa-isa ko yung mga company like, let's say, mga Pure Gold, ganun, Aldi. So, nag-research ako and then hindi ako natenga sa isang company lang. So, gusto ko meron din akong pangalawa, pangatlo, ganyan. That's why I bought it. Pero, noon, parang lang siya, maliit lang muna yung ilalagay ko so that I can see. And then, yun nga, chine-check ko siya from time to time, which is rarely lang talaga. Sabi ko, bakit kaya hindi ito
pick up.
Yeah, hindi siya nag-green or constant siyang red. So, there must be something na nangyayari. And that's why I decided to sell it na.
Pero naman, maliit lang yung impact niya kasi maliit lang yung position niya dun sa stock na yun. And overall, maganda naman yung performance ng stock niya. So, thank God na blessed naman.
Speaking of performances, I'm pretty sure the both of you have outstanding performances sa stock market. So, could you please share your strategies to audience natin? So, maybe in a few sentences and in simple ways, Kuya John, ano ba yung strategy mo? You can go first.
Ako kasi classical na value investor ako eh. Like, in the same line ng tinuturo nila Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Terry Smith, and, yung mga great investors na yan, na you find good companies na malayo pa yung runway nila. They will keep on improving. Nakikita mo yung evidence in the past. and then naiintindihan mo yung business, somehow may understanding ka ng business na alam mo maganda pa yung runway nila to grow. And then it is trading at a very good price. Then that's the stocks that you buy. And then, hindi talaga ako dividend investor in the sense kung paano nagiging dividend investor yung iba na binubuo talaga nila yung passive income nila. For me, I use dividends as risk management kasi dividends are tangible earnings. And in this kind of environment, this kind of market, tangible returns talaga ang nag-uusap eh. Kasi it's money eh. Money talks eh. So yan lang ang gumagalaw talaga sa market natin ngayon. So I use that strategy in many ways. May mga long-term, meron din mga short-term play. If I see na naiipon yung cash ng isang company at nakikita ko na the following year biglang magtataas ito, then I would position myself sa ganun. So yun yung mga strategies ko. Undervalued stocks na I use dividends as risk management.
Okay, what about you, Miss Joanna? I mean, in simple terms, how's your approach and strategy sa pag-invest sa stock market?
Pwede ko bang i-hijack yung question? Okay. So siguro kasi ako yung nagturo sa kanya, di ba? So it's more of like she's an experiment na alam ko mag-work yung strategy niya. And nakita ko ngayon na nag-work talaga siya. So ang strategy niya, very, very simple lang. There are just 4 things na ginagawa niya. Naghahanap siya muna ng mga businesses na gusto niya. And nakikita niya maganda yung future. May bright future. Either may bagong sinabi yung president na susuportahan ko yung ganitong industry, ganyang industry. So isa-shortlist niya yung mga companies about that. May magandang future, at least for the next 5 years. So doon yung tinitingnan niya. Okay? And then number 2 criteria, titingnan niya yung history ng past 8 years. Tinuro ko siya, punta ka lang sa MSN Money. Makikita mo dun yung 8 years. Then makikita mo kung nag-grow talaga yung company from the past. Kasi that's an evidence, data yun eh. Na talagang hindi mo ma-deny na nag-grow siya. So that's number 2. So nakikita mo mag-grow and then may evidence na nag-grow in the past. And number 3, dapat mababa yung utang. Kasi we have to be humble na hindi tayo ganun ka-sophisticated din na magbasa ng balance sheet. So mas better na doon tayo sa companies na mababa yung utang, number 3. And then number 4, tinuro ko sa kanya, simple valuation lang, mababang PE ratio. That's it. Yun yung 4 na tinuro ko sa kanya. And
yun yung tinitignan ko every time na nag-research ako. And after doon lang ako bibili ng gusto kong bilhin na stocks. Yun lang.
In simple terms, ano po ibig sabihin ng mababang PE ratio?
it means it's cheap. Mura siya. Multiples niya is mababa. Kasi typically, di ba, pag isang company is growing, isang company wala namang utang, dapat ang PE ratio niyan double digit eh. Pero if you could see na single digit siya, it means na medyo cheap siya. Medyo mura siya. So, ibig sabihin may upside ka.
One criteria yun na pwede, okay bilhin yung isang stocks. Parang yun yung tumatak sa akin nung tinuro niyo sa akin. Pag mababa siya, okay siya bilhin. Aside yun sa ibang factors Yun din kasi tinitignan ko pag nag-research
So actually, in short, tumitingin lang talaga si Mahal purely sa business. Nothing else. Business and business alone. And hindi siya masyadong into, a lot of market terminologies, technical analysis. Hindi na siya aware doon. At sinadya ko talagang hindi siya tumingin doon. Kasi I know na kapag nalunod ka sa mga market terminologies, maliligaw yung strategy mo kasi makakarinig ka na maraming noise Pero since long-term investor siya at gusto niya maging long-term siya, it will work na business lang talaga yung tinitingnan mo. Purely buy things, buy companies you believe in. Naniniwala ka.
Like for example, kunyari sa mga, let's say, Pure Gold, ganyan, consumer. I believe na nag-e-extend kasi yung malasakit nila. Pag nag-e-extend yung isang company ng malasakit sa employee, nag-reach out yun na parang naambunan din yung mga consumer. So, yun yung pinaniniwalaan ko. Pag okay yung ganong company, maganda yung balik sa kanila. So, yun.
Yung care spills over to the product, tapos to the customers.
Like Crown Asia, sa mga hindi familiar sa Crown Asia, nung pandemic, wala sila ni-lay off. Hindi nila pinag-rotate yung employees nila. Nag-sacrifice sila from their balance sheet. Doon nila pinasahod. Hinayaan nila mag-suffer ang kanilang balance sheet para lang yung employees nila dire-diretso. And if they are not cheating their employees, if they are taking care of their employees, it means patas sila sa lahat. Patas sila sa investors, patas sila sa government, they pay correct taxes. So these are people na you could trust.
Yes, yung parang feeling ko, sila, yung mga people behind the company, yung sinabi ko na hindi lang nila aim na kumita ng kumita. Pero I still believe na tao lang din sila eh. So they would want to help other people as well kasi. So yun yung isa sa mga criteria ko para bumili ng company. Good people behind the company.
They don't treat people as numbers. They treat people as people talaga.
Yeah. And they are doing business to provide jobs, support families.
Ganun.
Yun yung gusto natin eh.
For the both of you, when you choose stocks, do you prefer na yung stock na mas mataas yung dividend yield or yung payout? Or do you prefer stocks that are faster growing?
Ako, tumitingin ako sa total returns. So, siguro yun yung short na explanation doon. Kasi you cannot go for high dividend yield. Kasi if a stock is not growing, that is not investable. Remember, anything na hindi nag-grow is declining. And once you invest in a stock na nagde-decline, gahanap pala ng sakit ng ulo eh. So, you have to invest in growing stocks. So, parehas na important yon. Dapat satisfactory yung dividends kasi yun yung payment mo as you wait eh. For this, ang pangit ng market ngayon, di ba? Ang baba-baba. So, while we are waiting na umangat-angat yung market, we are getting paid to wait. Pero, at the same time, nag-grow yung company. So, both those two things, yung growth, dividends, parehas na risk management tool yan eh. Na it protects na hindi bumagsak yung investments mo.
What about you, Miss Joanna? Growth or mataas na payout?
Growth pa rin talaga. Kasi sa company, isa rin yan sa mga tinitingnan ko, yung kung magbo-branch out ba sila.
Expand.
May mga projects, future projects pa sila. Okay lang sa akin yung fair na utang basta may project. Yun kasi in the future pwedeng may balik din yun eh.
Yes.
Yun.
Actually, yan yung criteria niya bago siya maghanap ng company. Yan yung shortlist niya. Tinitingnan niya yung mga companies na may expansion plans.
Oo.
Yan yung shortlist niya.
Ganda. It's a very good narrative, very good story. Let's talk about allocation. So is there such a thing na you decide how many stocks you should hold into your portfolio? Like may maximum lang dapat? Or is there such a thing na may maximum % ng portfolio or ng pera nyo na nasa certain sector lang? Like for example, maximum dapat 25% into real estate. So if ever there's a stock that you like, na real estate stock, pero maximum allocated na kayo to real estate eh. So hindi na kayo makadagdag. Is there such a thing or you don't follow that?
No, ako, sa akin hindi. Kung ano yung gusto ko, kahit magdoble-doble siya, kunyari sa real property.
Sa real estate, for example.
Real estate, kahit magdoble-doble siya, okay lang sa akin. Wala naman akong limit kung magkano yung budget na ipapasok ko. No, wala.
What about you, Kuya John?
Sa akin, hindi part ng thought process ko yung diversification as a way of risk management. Knowing me, know each other is not part of my risk management method. Kasi, ang mga tinitingnan ko is, like for example, one of the shortlist na tinitingnan ko, sino yung mga companies, they did well during the pandemic. Sino yung mga companies na hindi masyadong tinitira ng mga politicians. So, you shortlist agad yung mga companies na hindi tinatamaan masyado ng mga, kung ano, ng mga unexpected events na to, like pandemic, itong mga politicians na to. And then doon ako nagko-concentrate. So, nandun na naka-bake in na yung risk management ko doon na hindi na nagiging part ng thought process ko yung diversification across sectors. And also especially, marami kasing sectors ang hindi ko ginagalaw. Like for example, mining, hindi ko masyadong ginagalaw yan. That's very, very risky. Utilities, masyadong maingat ako sa utilities kasi, alam mo na, masyadong minsan, tutuunan na, minsan pinapatawag sa Senado, ang hirap eh. Naghihirap ang kalooban naman nung natsambahan ka na gano'n. So, yung mga bagay na na iniiwasan ko for now. So, mga simple businesses lang, doon na naka-bake in na kasi yung risk management doon.
when it comes to holding onto stocks, like for example, you have positions already. Once they reach to a certain level, kunyari umakyat na sila, and they are already fairly valued. So do you take some money off the table? Like, do you sell some or do you just hold on to them as long as they're still a good company?
Wala pa akong time na once pa lang akong nag-sell yung sinel ko. Pero kung tumaas siya, like, let's say, dun, tinitingnan ko yung percentage na yung kapag green siya, 100%, more than 100%. Yun, hindi ko pa siya binibenta. Okay lang sa akin, tumaas siya na tumaas. Ganun. Pero at some point, napapaisip din ako na what if hindi mag-stagnant na yung growth niya. Yun. Mahirap kasing sabihin na mag-exit na ako ngayon eh. Ganun.
Mahirap i-time kung kailan siya titigil yung growth.
Yun, hindi ko
I think it's the same kami ng approach. Although hindi namin to pinag-uusapan yung exit strategy. Same kami ng approach. Especially ngayon, everything is cheap eh. So there's no reason to sell something na nag-i-improve yung business. And siguro nagsisell kami pag na-realize namin mali kami. Like may pinasok kami and we realize mali yung iniisip namin or mali yung projection namin or mali yung nakikita namin sa future. And then ito yung evidence na sinasabi na mali ka. Then we sell and then i-cut loss mo na siya and then ilipat mo na yung funds sa ibang company na maganda naman. Pero companies are improving eh ngayon. They keep on improving and then valuation is really bad. So parang ang dami pang upside eh para mag-sell today. So it's something na hindi pa namin pinag-uusapan lately.
Do you guys share a watch list together? Ibig sabihin like a list of stocks na binabantayan nyo. Nag-share ba kayo ng like investment ideas? How does it go?
Do we share? No.
No.
Kanya-kanyang
Hindi
research,
ko alam.
kanya-kanyang...
Hindi ko alam yung nasa portfolio niya. Hindi niya alam yung nasa portfolio ko.
And there's no reason to tell each other din, diba? Kasi it's a individual sport eh.
Yeah, I have full trust na she's doing a good job.
Thank
And,
God.
yeah, and actually, just to share with you, mas matagal na yung portfolio ko kaysa sa kanya. Siya mas bago pa lang eh. Wala pang 3 years yung portfolio niya. Pero pag kinompare mo, magkadikit lang yung ano namin.
Performance.
Magkadikit lang yung performance. So that means
Thank
she's
God.
doing better than me.
Oh, thank God. Pero hindi ko kasi alam yung mga terminologies eh. Based lang yun sa mga knowledge na shinare niya since then. And then, when I buy kasi a stock, when I buy something na after ko mag-buy, pinagpe-pray ko lang talaga.
Yes,
Na
yes.
from the people behind, yung pinaka mga nasa taas-taasan ng company, hanggang sa employee, hanggang sa mga abot ng product,
Pinagpe-pray niya
hanggang
yung
sa mga
management.
abot ng mga branches, yun, pinagpe-pray ko. Yun, confident naman ako.
Okay.
Thank God.
These businessmen are not evil. These businessmen are doing service to the public kasi naghihirap sila magtayo ng business to provide jobs and support families, no? So dapat pinag-pray natin sila, no?
Yeah.
So what's the ultimate goal ba of you guys investing? Is it for retirement or para saan siya? Is it for payment ng bills? What's the end goal here?
Ano naman, for me, retirement and then kapag sa future children nyo, sa family, yun. That's why hindi ako nagsisell. Kasi gusto ko makinabang naman yung future self ko and future children and family ko.
I think parehas kami. We don't withdraw at hindi namin tinitake out yung dividends. Everything, every gain, reinvested.
Rebuy.
Hindi nagkakasundo kami doon. Parehas kami na strategy.
Okay, I mean, sa market sometimes it's not always good, right? So sometimes there are market downturns, mahirap yung stock market. Is this stressful ba sa inyo to? Or how do you support each other during these moments?
Siguro I could take this question. Kasi nga we focus on owning businesses. That's how we look at markets. So yung prices is something that doesn't affect us that much. And we look at prices as opportunities. Pag bumaba yung price, then we are happy kasi we could buy more.
Yes, yun din yung ko. Sinasabi ko sa kanya.
Baliktad, happy kayo pag down yung
Yes.
stock.
Kasi we could,
More opportunity to buy pa kasi.
yeah, we could buy more. And kaya hindi siya stressful sa amin. Kasi nga, yun nga, business talaga. We buy businesses. And that's our focus. And I think yun din yung focus ni Mahal.
Ang alam ko kasi, the more na mas mababa, pwede kang mag-buy ng mag-buy.
And
Yun ang ko.
hindi siya nag-open ng account niya madalas. And hindi siya nag-check ng market. Hindi siya nag-check ng prices. She doesn't know what's happening. Basta she owns businesses na gusto niyang i-own. At hindi niya alam she's doing very well actually. Ako pa nagsasabi sa kanya, uy, up ka na. Magpakikiam ka naman.
Thank God to God be the glory.
Would you say investing in some way or another has strengthened your relationship as a couple?
I think wala siyang effect sa aming dalawa kasi it's something that is just part of what we do. It's just a routine. It's just like you're brushing your teeth, you know, you're having a shower. It's just something that you do. Ganon. And I think siguro, dadagdag ko lang, siguro nagkataon na we are blessed na parehas yung portfolio namin are doing well. So, thank God for that.
Okay, before we end this podcast, actually, I want to ask you, Kuya John, Miss Joanna, what advice would you give to couples out there listening that want to start their investing journey ngayon?
Siguro mag-usap kayo mag-asawa kasi sa amin, hindi dahil nag-work sa amin yung strategy namin, doesn't mean na mag-work sa inyo. So siguro you talk about it and find a common ground na magkakasundo kayo. Anong asset classes ang bagay sa inyo based on your background, on your skills. Nagkataon kasi kami more on stocks kami, maaring sa inyo, maaring iba, maaring real estate kayo, maaring something else. So you talk about it and try it.
Communication is very important.
Doesn't mean naman kasi na nag-work sa amin yung independent yung budget namin for stocks. Baka sa inyo kasi nagpo-pull kayo, tapos doon yung kinukuha lahat. It could work for you guys. Merong way na gano'n. Hindi namin nililimit yung approach namin na ito yung mag-work. Itong way lang yung mag-work. Baka sa inyo, another approach. Basta wag nyo lang kakalimutan yun nga, yung communication. And kapag may disagreements kayo, just meet at the middle so that you can produce one big decision. Kasi ang mag-asawa, iisa na lang yan.
Outside the stock market, what do you think is your best investment?
For me, sa ngayon, invest in your career, sa time mo. Kasi ano nga bang ipang papasok mo? Let's say, gusto mo bumili sa stocks. Ano ipang papasok mo kung sapat-sapat lang yung kinikita? So, invest ka muna sa career, tapos work it, parang make it a habit na mag-ipon ka. Tapos, ang dami ng medium ngayon na pwede mong pag-aralan YouTube.
To upskill.
Yes. Pwedeng sa podcast, mga ganito, matututo ka na Yun. Konting ano na lang, push pa para sa sa upskill ng career mo.
Focus on growing the income first para mas marami pang invest.
Yes, correct.
So siguro yun din, I will add na ito si Mahal, for example, medyo lang siya, tahimik lang siya, soft-spoken, pero she's really working her ass off na talagang aral siya ng aral during her free time. Talagang ini-improve niya yung skills niya. Para yung career. Madali kasi magpalaki ng cash flow from career. Kung halimbawa, maliit pa yung portfolio mo. So, self-improvement, very, very important. Invest in yourself first.
Ikaw, Kuya John, ano yung best investment mo naman for you?
Ako sa ngayon, wala pa akong any other investment outside the stock market. Siguro, ganun pa rin. Self-improvement pa rin.
Kala ko, Kuya John, sasabihin mo, best investment for you is your wife.
Given na yun.
Hindi mo masa si Kuya John, Miss Joanna. No?
Given
right
na
answer is
yun.
own. Given
Sa labas
na
na siya matutulog.
Sa garage.
Joke.
If you could go back in time naman and give advice to your younger self, to the 18 years old Kuya John and 18 years old Miss Joanna, so what advice would it be?
Okay, so kung teenager ka, young adult ka, or adult ka ngayon, give it a time na kailangan kapag may natira sa'yo, kahit konti lang, ipunin mo, set aside mo para sa'yo. Okay, kasi ngayon, ang daming temptation na pwedeng mong paggastusan sa food pa lang. Okay, sa items. Okay, clothing, gadgets, or PC or laptop, maraming temptation yan. Pero, ayun lang yung iiwan ko. Set aside something for yourself. For your future self. It doesn't have to be now. Pero ang magbe-benefit niyan, ikaw din in the future. Yun, ipon ka lang. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na kunyari teenager ka ngayon, stocks ka na kagad eh. Ipunin mo muna and then pag-aralan mo kung anong, kunyari magpapasok ka sa stocks or kahit crypto pa yan, pag-aralan mo muna. Huwag ka munang, don't be too emotional na papasukin mo tapos kita agad yung iisipin mo. Yun. Huwag muna yun.
Ikaw, Kuya John, to your 18 years old self.
Ako siguro yung timeless wisdom na natutunan ko sa mama ko. Sabi niya, parehas lang naman sa sinabi ni Mahal. No? Sabi ng mama ko, kailan ka maghuhukay ng butas kung kailangan masakit na yung tiyan mo. So, kailangan talaga nagpe-prepare ka early. Very, very early bago mo pa kailangan yung pera. Kasi one day, mamimit mo rin yung mahal mo. So, di ba, mas maganda bago mo siya mamit, naka-build ka na ng funds at may konti ka ng investments para, alam mo, pag medyo prepared ka na for the next phases of your life.
Okay, before we end this podcast, any parting words to our audience, Miss Joanna and Kuya John?
Siguro sa akin, madali lang naman mag-start mag-invest pero always start spiritually. Pag-prayin nyo yung gagawin ninyo. Aside sa, gagawin nyo yung lahat ng pag-aaral, preparation. Pero yung mundo kasi very unpredictable Kung ano mangyari, hindi natin alam talaga So, kailangan may kahalong prayer. And if you are doing well, always remember, hindi yun dahil marunong tayo, hindi yun dahil magaling tayo. Everything is to God be the glory po. Yes. Dahil po binless na po tayo ni Lord. Kaya nagiging maganda yung outcome. Pinag-pray natin, and then binless tayo ni Lord.
Based yan sa experience ko na hindi ko alam mga technical terms and hindi ko alam kung ano yung mga theory or fundamentals, concepts pagdating sa stocks. Kung ano lang yung gusto kong i-buy, yun lang yung binibili ko and I'm firmly believe and confident ako since then na okay itong mga binili ko is because I prayed for it. Yun. I believe na okay itong company na to. I believe na yung mga tao na responsible for this company, ni-reach out nila yung empleyado nila, mga consumer nila. I believe it. Yung confident ako dun. Thank God, okay naman yung portfolio ko ngayon. To God be the glory.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure both of your portfolio are doing well. And so, guys, if you actually want to follow and copy Kuya John's investments, you can do that through Dragonfly's signature portfolio. So, it's already available in the Dragonfly mobile app. So, pwede nyong kopyahin and get ideas from Kuya John as to what stocks are buyable today. So, Kuya John and Miss Joanna, thank you for being here today for today's episode. And see you guys on to the next one. Bye.